Welcome back to Full Circle with Murkali. 111 That is our SMS line. Let us know where you're watching us from. Send in your questions. Be part of the conversation. Just be with us. We like it. We're here for it. Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. And for the SMS, it's just going to cost you a shilling to do that. So just send as many as you can. And if you have no idea what hypnotherapy is, well, I'm here for you. Because this is that conversation. It's time for Advice Circle. We have Rosh in the building. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it's the one. This
Such
is it.
an honor. Okay.
We're
here.
And kindly introduce yourself to the people. I'm excited about this one.
I am too. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Roshanara. I model internationally, but also a mental health coach and a hypnotherapist.
Yes. And that last bit is why we're here. Well, we know you as a model. 2016, you were all the way up there and you represented our country. And then there's a whole transition to the things that you wanted to do and what you're doing now, which is hypnotherapy. How are you geared towards this direction?
I feel like life is really interesting because it's all about perspective and choosing how we see what happens to us. And for me,
your earring, there you go.
What happened?
On your mic.
Oh,
happens to me
my
all the
peacock
time. All the
flying
time.
away.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like life is all about our perspectives. And for me, I believe you have to experience what you don't want to realize what you do want and put yourself on the path of what you're destined to be. And so I really wanted to understand the deeper essence of life, to understand mind, body, spirit, heart coherence, understand how all the deeper aspects of life are connected. And it led me to hypnotherapy, which is life-changing as a modality.
What is it? What is hypnotherapy?
So hypnotherapy is a really interesting modality that allows you to tune into the somnamblistic brainwave state, which is, so right now we're operating on alpha, we're, moving quick in our thoughts, and our heart rate is also quite elevated, the more the pace of our work, right? But then you get to a state where you get more relaxed and more relaxed and more relaxed, and you go into theta, you go into delta, your heart rate lessens and lessens and lessens, and you go into a space where you're fast asleep and wide awake at the same time. And then you move from accessing your conscious mind into being more aware of your subconscious mind and all the programming that's been conditioned into your mind your entire life, and being able to redefine what your true beliefs are.
Whoa.
And that is mind-boggling.
It is, just from hearing about it. And at what point do I or anybody else need or require, to get into hypnotherapy or just see you for it?
I say prevention is better than cure.
That is true.
Trauma is always better avoided. And after you've experienced trauma, being able to understand why that happens, because everything happens for a reason. There is no such thing as coincidence. And we create our own reality. And there's so many incredible authors in this world and, life coaches, healers, that say the same thing. Nothing happens by mistake. It's all on purpose with purpose. So being able to see the insight behind why you've suffered certain things, why you've attracted certain people into your life, the whys that the material realm will never explain to you can be accessed through the subconscious, through making contact, through, and all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So think about it as a really deep meditation.
That goes way deeper. Does that mean when we're in this state, then we're able to rewire the way we think?
Absolutely.
The things that we've been told all our lives?
Absolutely. So it's much harder to unlearn than it is to learn.
That is true.
And the older you get, the more drilled you get into what you've always known, and the harder it becomes for you to see things in a new way or change your perspective. So if you've grown in a scarcity mindset, for instance, earning money has to be hard. Money is the root of all evil. It's really hard for me to earn money. I have to sabotage myself to earn money. And you believe these things, no matter how many times you tell yourself money is easy. Money does grow on trees. Money is easy to earn. You won't get it
because
until
it's all the way in.
all
It's
the
not
way
here.
in. Absolutely. So being able to tune into those levels of the subconscious where you can begin to reprogram these affirmations through a space of no resistance, the more beautiful your life becomes. And who doesn't want that?
You know, when people talk
know?
about hypnosis, and probably mostly
Clack like a
because of
chicken.
because of what we've seen on TV, it's usually count backwards and there's this thing I have in front of you and all of that. And most of the times it's used to heal probably traumas or take you to a place where you've locked out your memories, your feelings and all of that. And we did not know, or probably it's not talked about a lot about what you just said, that we're all healing from something. It's not necessarily that you have to have gone through like, you know, deep dark trauma. That it is important to have that even.
For sure. It's a journey of self-awareness and self-love. That's the best way for me to explain that to you. To really know who you are, to understand how you work, to understand why you want the things you want, why certain things in your life are important to you, why certain things recur in your life and it's hard for you to let them go, why you fall in love the way you fall in love, why you show up how you do, why you treat people a certain way. And it's, you know, on a day-to-day, we're always so consumed by mundane thoughts.
Yep.
You know, things that really don't matter in the large scale of life. And so, you know, it's one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the point where you're in this tunnel and it's moving full speed and you don't even understand why you're there anymore. And what really hurts me is, and this is an experience I've had as well, is you think you're going to be happy one day, right? When you achieve certain things, or when you become something,
It
you
will
know.
take this when I get the perfect husband.
Exactly.
When I get my children, if I get that job.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
how many people can say they're actually happy once they've achieved?
Oh, because you're always thinking about, maybe now I've gotten this, maybe if I get
The next
something
thing.
more,
Right.
then I'll be
so
happier.
we're all looking for validation from the outside. We're always looking for something beyond us, outside of us, to grant us the happiness that is within us.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of my clients are high-flying corporates, people who are really, really, you know, highly ambitious, people who've achieved a lot of things, who, you know, are maybe past the age of 40, are having families, have had families. And their problem is, how have I done all these things in my life and I don't find fulfillment? I'm not happy. Why? You know? And so it's about bringing them to these moments where first we recap their life bubble, understand who they are, understand their patterns, their habitual patterns, and then bring them into a space of calming the mind, you know, calming their heart rate, bringing them into a space of just being in this moment. Because a lot of the time we're everywhere.
We're not here.
Except here.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
we're doing this show.
But
for you, it's already
like,
what's
okay, so
next?
what's the show
for
tomorrow? So
breakfast?
immediately after this,
What's
what am I doing?
tomorrow?
Exactly.
Exactly. But how many of us can really say we're enough to just breathe, and be here, because this is the only moment that's guaranteed, because this is the only moment that defines everything that comes after or before. this moment right here is everything.
That is
So
true.
to be able to go in deeper and deeper and deeper and
Why do I feel like
harness
you're
the
taking me to that space?
beauty.
Are we here? Are we gone?
That's all hypnosis is. That's all it is. And there's so many different ways to induce someone into that space.
Yeah.
There's quantum breathing techniques. There is
What is that?
where someone just guides your breathing.
Okay.
Become more aware of your breath. Slow it down. Slow
okay.
it down. Breathe in. And it brings in such a beautiful sense of relaxation, of euphoria. And it's such a beautiful place to solve problems from, because it gives you a better perspective. It's like prayer,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's like prayer. When you sit down and you connect to your God, you're connecting first to your higher self, which will connect to higher and higher and higher. And the more pure you are in your being, the more calm and collected you are, the more love you're capable of feeling, the more insight you have, the more compassion you have, and the more love you're able to spread in the world, because it all starts and ends with you.
No, I was reading a book, well, more like listening to the audiobook, and they're talking about meditation and how easy it sounds. It sounds like you just need to close your eyes, but it's not as easy as it is while you're actually doing it, because you have to filter all these things from your head, be in that space, be in the moment there and then, without distractions, which is not easy.
Yeah.
Is it easier to get into hypnotherapy than just doing meditation by yourself? Because it seems like it's sort of guided, and this other one you probably just have to do it by yourself.
A guided meditation is a lot milder than a hypnotherapy session.
Ooh, okay.
All hypnosis is self-hypnosis, which means you have to bring yourself into space where you've built trust and rapport with your practitioner,
Okay.
where you're able to just relax. You know, and again, like, the best comparison I have to meditation, the effects of meditation is like going to the spa for a beautiful day where you just feel nurtured. And meditation and hypnosis are both about coming to the present moment and becoming an observer of your thoughts, becoming an observer of your personality.
Okay.
So being able to detach just enough to recognize these are the thoughts, and then sort of like you're going through a PowerPoint presentation and thinking about this and this and this and that.
That is so
You know,
mundane.
and the more you just observe without any attachment, without paying too much attention to anything, because as human beings we have the habit of fixating.
Okay.
So it's like, I have this problem, and now your entire life becomes
This
that problem.
Yeah.
And then you become the problem. So how about
Detaching.
detach from it, observe your thoughts, observe where they came from, and then from that detached position you have a much higher perspective. But also just observing all these thoughts detaches the kinetic energy from each thought and creates that balance. And then imagine your mind and your thoughts like the ocean, right? The more unbalanced you are, the more there's a crazy, surcharge of energy and electricity and waves, and there's no calm, meditation is now observing and recognizing there's a storm, right?
Okay.
But that doesn't define me. I'm observing. That's my storm.
Okay.
And the more you just witness, it comes to pass. And now everything slows down, and you become more intentional with how you think. You become more intentional about the negative thoughts going through your head, because those negative thoughts manifest into negative patterns. So now being able to chuja those thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's like, I'm not going to think this. So now, because you're now able to control what thought comes after what thought after what thought, you realize that's not me. I don't want that. I want the good thought. And then you start working through the shadow work and replacing negative thoughts with affirmations. I'm not good enough. That's really not true. That's a projection. I am.
Yeah.
I'm not worthy. That's
am.
not true.
I
I
am.
am. And then you start to identify with now the I ams.
Okay.
I am good enough. I am worthy. I am calm. I'm sensible. I'm happy. I'm love. You see, and those are the thoughts that start to materialize in your mind. It's what you start to believe. It's what you start to project. It's what people start to notice about you. And you're always in control.
How many sessions would I need, considering how much baggage I've been carrying around? Is it dependent on that, or is it like a one session kind of thing, or is it, you know?
The more, the merrier. I
Okay,
always say
great.
when you're working with a therapist, 3 sessions at the minimum, just for you to understand and break past the patterns that, you know, you're usually
Yeah.
running through.
Yes.
But also, it's very important when you're looking for a therapist not to give your power away.
Okay.
You're not going there to become codependent yet again on something on the outside. To go very proactively and understand, I'm doing this with the practitioner for my own good.
Okay.
Which means that I'm going to pick up skills which I can then amplify in my own life through repetitive practice and conditioning.
Okay.
So it's so life-changing.
See how I just got roped into that and I had a great time. Before we
you.
go away, we have a book here. And
Yay.
let
There
me
you
just
go.
hold this. It's called Beyond the Darkness, a Strategic Guide to New Earth. Ooh,
Absolutely.
daring. Daring.
I love the process of writing that book. And
Please tell us about it.
yeah, I was listening to the segment just before this, and they said, if you have the strength to believe you can start something,
Yes.
know you have the power to finish it.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And as with anything in our lives, I believe whatever you have an ambition to achieve, you're the only person in your way.
That is
And
true.
this book is all about self-love, self-awareness, just important aspects of life that are constant with every one of us. You know, it's like we tune into the material realm and you're seeing through the glasses of an architect, an engineer, a lawyer, a mathematician, a media personality. But then there's something beyond that. We're all people that need to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel belonging. We're all souls looking for our higher selves, who are looking for happiness, who are looking for their place in this world. And that's what unites us as a human race. So this book is about everything that we have in common and how to be better together. And that manifests the new earth.
The darkness is a tool for awakening.
Absolutely.
We must know what we don't want in order to realize what we do want. We always have a choice in how we see the situations in life. They are all here to guide us on a path of love and light.
Absolutely.
Couple of SMSs here for you just before we go on a break. Hey, I'm Jay. I've been trying simple meditations using a candle, but I still can't get there. What can I do?
Where is she trying to get? Jane, the point of meditation is don't try to go anywhere. Don't try to be anywhere. Just be. Because as human beings, our job is to be. We've been conditioned to do things, to wake up a certain time, stick to a certain routine, but just stop and connect to your core. Tune into your breathing, feel the subtle sensations in your body. Start with, and I say aches are so important. Being sick is so important because it brings you back to your body and it teaches you to just sit.
Okay.
And take care of yourself and rest. But before you get to that point,
Everywhere.
tune into your toes. Tune into the sensations of your fingers. Tune into how your breath feels in your body. Already you're breaking past, and that's the beauty of life.
Okay.
And we all have access to it.
Hi, Mukali. Please ask her about the cost I need to see a practitioner. They don't leave a name, but we have a number.
I think depending on where you are in the world and the caliber of practitioner that you connect with, it can range really
Yeah. So how can they get in touch with you directly so that you understand the journey they want to walk?
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think that's also important is coming from mainstream, you don't just go and say, I want a hypnotherapy session. A good practitioner will always meet you where you are and walk the journey with you. So for people who haven't had a background in even being able to access themselves, I'll always say, let's connect, let's have an initial meditation session together, or I'll do a guided breathing session with you. Tune you in, because if your thoughts are all over the place, how do we even get to hypnotherapy? Because you
How
won't
can
relax
people get
for
in
that
touch?
long.
Social media, do you have a number where you're
Social
located?
media, absolutely. You can email me at roshanara@roshanaralove.com, and I will give you all the information you need. Or Instagram at roshanaralove, Facebook Roshanara Love, and yeah, that's it for now.
How much is this book going for, and where can we find it?
It's 2,500. The best way is to reach me through Instagram, but it's also, the book launch is going to be at Muthega Country Club on the 26th of August. So everyone's more than welcome to come. We can meet and greet, and I could sign your book for you personally. But as soon as that's done, the book will be available at Westgate and all textbook center.
And we'll definitely have you back after the launch to talk about the book, because
can't
we didn't quite touch on the book. Thank you so much for coming through, Rosh.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure.
We're going to take a very short commercial break. We will be right back. This is Full Circle.